I've been wearing the same pair of underwear since Tuesday. That night at 3 in the morning, the warden of the Super Duper Max, Jay Lowdown, informed me that I was being transferred to Lucasville. Lucasville, home of the 1993 prisoner uprising, is a psychological September 11th for the Ohio prison system. It's also the prison where ODRC officials attempted to put former prisoner writer Timothy Little Rock Reed in order to engineer his death, until he gained asylum from Ohio and New Mexico, proving conclusively that Ohio prison officials planned to murder him. In the lead-up to this transfer, prison officials tried several times unsuccessfully to silence me, blocking phone communication for 8 weeks to keep me off the radio, intercepting postings for SeanSwain.org, and communications with counsel, who filed the civil action against prison officials on my behalf, and then blocking my JPay video visits to stop me from generating video on the site, which is illegal, not that laws matter to fashion. In response, I undertook a hunger strike until I was threatened with being tossed in the hole, which is illegal, not that laws matter to fashion. So I began a med strike, and then OSP physician Dr. James Klein held me incommunicado in medical isolation, in a torture cell, until I agreed to take blood pressure meds I have refused, which is illegal, not that they care. So, before I could even finish writing the epic tale of those wacky shenanigans, I was told to hop on the prison bus for Lucasville. When I protested that this was selective, Jay Lowdown said, "We thought you'd say that. That's why 37 others are going with you." So, to disguise prison fascist targeting of me, they tossed 37 other dolphins into the tuna net as collateral damage. The bus ride was unannounced, totally irregular, and it happened only hours after the phone call about an injunction that I had with counsel, which prison officials certainly didn't monitor. Right. The bus wasn't gassed up. When it stopped at another prison to gas up, our bag lunches weren't prepared, all indications that this happened spur of the moment. When we rolled away from OSP, our property, packed in boxes on the pavement, was still sitting there. It wouldn't fit in the underside of the bus. Again, a total absence of planning. But the ODRC isn't out to get me, and this had nothing to do with responding repressively to anticipated legal moves by my attorney. Stop laughing. Lucasville. The place steeps with malice, as if its very existence day-to-day is a personal revenge mission carried out against its captive. Built in the early 70s, it looks like a bad prison movie. The cells are roughly a quarter the size of my cell at OSP, big enough for a steel sink, steel toilet, steel bed, and a steel desktop. It's heated by a rusty steel radiator along the back wall, covered in 40 years of colorful funk, encrusted food, and unidentifiable stuff. None of the windows close anymore. Mine has a beautiful view of the gun tower. The fronts of the cells. 40 cells, 2 tiers of 20 on each side, facing 40 cells on the other side. The cell fronts are made of bars from the waist up, painted baby poop green. There's no privacy, but it's like living in a community, reminding me of tenement buildings where poor folks built relationships across fire escapes. Like that. The 38, as we transfers were dubbed by staff, didn't even have hygiene given to us until Thursday. On Friday, everybody but me got changes of clothes and towels to get them through the weekend. Me, I'm still wearing the same underwear since Tuesday, and there's no telling when I'll get my property, or if I'll ever get it. I suspect this was done to make me suffer. When I spoke to the major, D.A. Warren, he was sympathetic until he saw my name on the door. Then he said, "Oh, you're Swain," and his demeanor changed. Clearly, the administration here has already been brainwashed to see me as an enemy and to repress accordingly. But interestingly, their selective deprivations provoke something amazing. Other prisoners who do not even know me from a can of gray paint saw my situation. They don't know why officials hate me, and they've never even heard this broadcast. First came a donation of paper and a pen, then a styrofoam cup and enough coffee to get me through the weekend, then food. Ramen noodles, which are gold on the black market, and cheese sandwiches, along with a Long John shirt, which has been a lifesaver. With just the clothes on my back and standard issue bedding, I've been sleeping on the floor with my mattress pressed against the radiator. Last, a pair of shoes. Nobody asked for anything in return and told me to return what I could, when I could, if I could. One guy yelled across the range that he knew what it felt like to have nothing, not to worry. Inspiring that in the darkest, most hideous hate factory, the worst offenders show so much empathy, while the staff don't. I think it was Mencken, maybe Lardner, who said that if you want to see the worst that humanity has to offer, come to a maximum security prison and shift change. Welcome to Lucasville. This is anarchist prisoner Sean Swain from the Southern Ohio Correctional Facility at Lucasville. If you're listening, you are the resistance.
You can write to Sean Swain at his new address at Sean Swain 243-205, P.O. Box 45699, 1724 State Route, number 728, Lucasville, Ohio, 45699. To read some of Sean's writings and learn more about his case, check out seanswain.org.